Hello everybody, welcome to another Bronies UK video. Now today I am going to be bringing back, slowly starting to redo my episode reviews of the show. We, hopefully this weekend, I think it's either episode 8 or episode 9 we have this weekend of the time I'm recording this. But I didn't realise, but I've only reviewed 4 episodes and I thought I'd reviewed at least more than that, but no. So, spoiler warning before we get too far into this. If you've not got anywhere near season 8 or anything like that, or you just started season 8, then please do not watch past this point. I don't want to spoil anyone or spoil anything. So, you've been warned. So let's just progress. So today I'm talking about Grannies Gone Wild, which is episode 5 of season 8. So this is possibly my favourite episode I've watched so far for season 8. It was a very fun episode, and it is just a insanely fun episode for me. The whole episode is mainly a Rainbow Dash episode. It's a Rainbow Dash episode, and Rainbow Dash is my favourite pony. She is the best. She is the best character so far, as far as I know, for the main 6. But so it's a Rainbow Dash episode, and it centres around Rainbow Dash wanting to go to Los Pegasus, which is this theme park, and she has no choice but to take along Granny Smith and her friends. There we go. So just that alone makes it quite an hysterical idea for a episode, but also the title is hilarious as well. Granny's Gone Wild, which is absolutely fantastic. So I will progress. I don't know why I'm doing this with this pencil, but anyway, I will progress. So the episode pretty much starts off with Rainbow Dash in the locker room as she's just kind of maybe done some training with the Wonderbolts, and she pretty much overhears from a few of her fellow Wonderbolt crew or team that there's this place called Los Pegasus, and this legendary roller coaster that they've all apparently ridden in or gone on, and Rainbow Dash obviously hasn't heard about this ride, and I'm actually quite surprised she hasn't, to be honest, because Rainbow Dash practically knows everything that's fun. But apparently she doesn't know about it. She's probably been a Wonderbolt now for probably about a year at this point in the story, but but yeah, so she doesn't know about it. So the whole episode is her pretty much kind of her excitement of discovering this new ride, and she has to ride it because it's kind of like the unforeseen rule, or the unwritten rule of the Wonderbolts, that you've got to at least have ridden it once to be considered a true Wonderbolt. So typical, the ego and the pride within Rainbow Dash kind of made it really wanted to go on this ride. So she pretty much goes around Ponyville and Equestria, and she's kind of like annoying her friends, talking about this ride. And she then gets to Applejack, and then she kind of tries to plead with Applejack to kind of take her classes at Twilight's school so that she can ditch them in order to go to Los Pegasus and ride this ride. So pretty much Applejack then gives Rainbow Dash a ultimatum whether, if she was to take her classes for her, or cover her classes for Rainbow Dash, or her classes, then she would have to take to Los Pegasus. They were also going to Los Pegasus Granny Smith, which is obviously Applejack's grandmother. So Granny Smith and her friends to Los Pegasus. She would have to go with them and make sure they was all right, and take care of them pretty much. And so pretty much she's kind of left in a bit of a lurch there. She's kind of like, she really wants to go on this ride. She has no choice but to take these older ponies along for the ride. So she pretty much ends up going on a hot air balloon trip with Granny Smith and her friends to Los Pegasus. Applejack gives us some rules, kind of these like rules to kind of live by, to kind of like make sure they don't do anything stupid, they don't overdo it and everything, because they are older ponies or old ponies. So yeah, so pretty much Applejack being Applejack, she kind of like gives Rabbadash some kind of rules to kind of follow. So they finally get to Las Pegasus, and they have a look around. It's just like a big giant casino. So pretty much Las Pegasus is kind of Las Vegas, pretty much. So Las Pegasus is like Las Vegas, and it's just like casino, theme park, like a complete resort, pretty much in the clouds. It's pretty cool, actually. So Granny Smith and her friends pretty much set out to have some fun because they've finally gotten away from Ponyville, and it's pretty much kind of like a couple of days, or a kind of like a day, or like either a day out, or meant to be kind of like a weekend away, just to kind of get away from it all for a little bit. And so they're trying to have some fun. They're kind of like going on some games, kind of like walking around, going to the buffet, doing stuff that Applejack wouldn't allow Granny Smith to do. And obviously Rabbadash is like ripping her maid apart with stress, trying to following them around and making sure they don't do anything stupid. And then by the end of the episode, Rabbadash is pretty much incredibly sorry because she kind of messes up the entire experience for all of, for Granny Smith and her friends. They all get a little bit upset with her because they're kind of like, you're supposed to be the fun one kind of thing. Why are you being such a buzzkill? And then she comes out saying that Applejack was a part of pretty much wanting to make sure Granny Smith was okay and she didn't overdo herself. She didn't do some mischief to herself, and including her friends. So yeah, long story short, they pretty much make up with it, and they have a bit of a laugh because it's typical Applejack, because Applejack's quite a serious pony when it comes to family and things like that, and commitments. And so yeah, she finally gets her wish. Rainbow finally gets on the ride, Las Pegasus, that the whole episode she's been wanting to do for the entire time. And we find out that they are kind of like lifetime members of this resort and everything. So they're able to completely jump the queue. And Rainbow finally rides the ride she's been wanting to do the entire episode. And she pretty much then becomes an honourable member of Granny Smith's little group. And so that's pretty much what happens in the entire episode. It's an interesting episode. It's different, and I generally really enjoy this episode because a slight little overview. It's a Rainbow Dash episode, and also it's kind of a Granny Smith episode as well, because for the most part you don't really get many episodes with Granny Smith in them these days. When the series first started, like from season 1, she was practically in nearly every episode. Because obviously she's Applejack's grandmother. She's the grandmother to Apple Bloom, Applejack, and obviously Big Mac. So she's practically in nearly every episode. But lately she has been in episodes, but she's not been like a focal point because a lot of the stories kind of revolved them having to kind of being called up by the map, having to go on quests. So that's where the stories kind of started to lead from season 7. So it's kind of interesting that I just generally really enjoyed this episode because, like I say, you don't get many episodes with Granny Smith in these days, and especially episodes where Granny Smith is going out of Ponyville. She's like meeting up with a bunch of wild older ponies that are her friends, and going on this little adventure to Las Pegasus and having a complete blast. You don't see her in that environment, and that was refreshing to see for me. And then obviously it's just always a pleasure to see Rainbow Dash freaking out for the entire episode, trying to keep this pony, because Rainbow Dash is the perfect. She's not that type of pony where she takes responsibilities to heart. She doesn't really take responsibilities properly. She's kind of like a rule breaker in a way. Even though she's loyal to her friends, but yet at the same time she doesn't stick to a specific thing that she's supposed to do. And it's perfect putting her in that situation and just seeing how she reacts to it. So brilliant. So, Grannies Gone Wild, episode 5 of season 8 of MLP Fish's Magic was, for me, my favourite episode so far. There obviously is going to be plenty more episodes yet to be released because we're up, because obviously we're still fairly early into the season. But yeah, very very good episode. Really enjoyed it, and I recommend it to anyone that has, if you've not seen it yet, or if I'm saying if you haven't seen it yet, just cut that out. But anyway, so thank you very much, my friends, for watching this review of, or my thoughts and overview of episode 5 of season 8. So until next time, my friends, stay awesome, and please subscribe, comment, and spread the word to many of your friends that are also into this into My Little Pony, Quest Regales and so on, and spread the word and try and get this little Facebook group kind of going in the way we want to go. So thank you. I'm John for the Bronies UK YouTube channel. It's always a pleasure. And until next time, bro hoof.